more and more we're being asked the question, which chair is right for me? People are now having to work from home, so they need to make a big investment and choose an office chair. You know, you were spending 5 to 8 hours a day in these chairs, so it's important to make the right choice. And what I hope to do in this video is explain to you what you should avoid and how to choose the correct chair. So please follow along. Now, I have pretty long legs, so it's not a good idea for me to sit in a couch and do my work. First of all, our couch is too soft. We kind of sink into it and we have no support for our back. Now here's an old vintage chair from Grandma, and it is beautiful and we will cherish it. However, I don't want to sit in this chair for 5 to 8 hours, simply because when I sit down in it, my hip is lower than my knee. This quickly puts me from this position into this flex position. Now this is dangerous because if I spend enough time here, then I'm putting pressure on my lumbar disc. This increases the chance that I'm going to get a lumbar disc herniation, and this is something that develops slowly over time. So if I sit in this position for too long, it is the equivalent of me pushing on a tooth for a couple of hours. It will change location. And if I put that same kind of force over a long period of time on my lumbar disc, I'm changing the structure in it, and over time your lumbar disc may herniate. So I would avoid sitting too low. Now let's discuss about how to choose the right chair. The chair I use is this beautiful Norwegian design, Hagkapisko. I bought this used about 5 years ago. It's probably 10 years old, if not more. Still works well. Now, if your goal is to impress your Zoom colleagues, this might be the chair for you. But all joking aside, these are the points you want to pay attention to when choosing a chair. So let's reverse engineer this a little bit. And in the end, what we want is we want to be able to sit up straight for many hours. In order to accomplish this, I think we have to focus on these things. So I would suggest you have your knee below the hip. Many people will say you want the 90-90 position, which is this. However, what I see is people have a lot of hip issues. Having the hip at 90 degrees is actually not very comfortable for many people. So what will happen is when they're in this 90-90s, they will compensate in the lower back with this little bend. And as we mentioned earlier, this is how a disc herniation happens. So if you can find a way to sit up a little bit higher with the knee below the hip, I think that's beneficial. So sitting up a little bit higher, of course, you want to be able to put your legs under the desk, so you got to accommodate to the height of the desk. You can always get a standing desk. Next, you want to have your feet on the floor. The feet need to be on the floor, and you want to sit on the sitting bones. Now, if I don't have my feet on the floor, I'm only supported by the sitting bones. So I only have 2 points of support. Now, if I have my feet on the floor and I'm quite firmly on the feet as well, I have 4 points of support. So my brain can better coordinate this upright posture for a longer period of time. The moment I lift the feet, I'm no longer supported. In theory, I should be able to move the chair out and stay in this position, in this squat position. So you're distributing your weight over 4 points and not 2. It helps me. I think it will help you as well. Now, the surface of the chair should not be too soft, it should not be too hard. You want it to be firm enough to be comfortable so you can sit for a long period of time, and firm enough to create that stimulus on the sitting bones, much like the floor creates a stimulus on the feet, so you get this proprioceptive inputs to sit up straighter. But another thing, what's special about this chair is it has this groove right here, which actually allows the hip to drop down, and it makes it a little bit easier for me to have the knee lower. If you don't have this, you might sit a little bit more on the edge. Regarding the backrest, I don't really use it very much. I think it's more important to be able to stay upright using the core. This might actually make us a little bit lazy. So if you found this helpful, please share the video. If you need more advice and quick tips about health and posture and so on, then please have a look at the other videos. Thank you for watching.